For tonight headlines, we have Prime Minister is launching an ambitious project to promote access to water and agriculture in the region of Obok. For the international scene, UN announces the resumption of inter-Libyan dialogues. Welcome to our newsroom. Under the high patronage of Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed took place this morning in Obok, more precisely in Fantiheru. The ceremony of launching of works for the supply of drinking water is Bisidiru Obok. Upon his arrival, Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed was welcomed by the prefect of the region, Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita, and also by the president of the regional council, Mohammed Hamad Ismail. A huge crowd composed of women, youth gave a warm welcome to the Prime Minister and his delegation. This project is financed by the Saudi Fund for Development. It is one of the region's flagship projects that has just been launched. It is in line with the policy of the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle, for the development of the country. This water management project will allow the population living between Bisidiru and Rasbir to have access to drinking water. All along the water supply network, a water point will be set up so that the populations will be able to tame waters, but also to practice agriculture activities, breeding, and thus give themselves the capacity to create wealth at home. The ceremony was attended by the member of government, parliamentarian, and senior officials of the region, as well as notables. The Minister of Agriculture, Mohammed Ahmed Awali, he pointed out that during the presidential towers in March before COVID pandemic in our country, the President had noted the enormous potential for development in the Obok region. Among the grievances raised before the President of the Republic, the project of water supply network from the Bisidiru water table. This project is today a reality. It just been launched with great pomp in the presence of Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, the President of the Assembly, of numerous ministers and parliamentarians. For his part, Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, for his part, has indicated the pipes that supply waters to the city of Obok from Sublali will be rehabilitated with an additional kilometers of urban networks to probably supply the city of Obok. Noted that the note that the city of Obok is growing, and he congratulated the people of Obok for their dynamism. He added that with the launching of all these big projects, the water problems will be totally solved. Moreover, had asked to promote education in Hayu. This has been concretized with the realizations of many schools, thanks to the initiative of the president, and from now on the teaching will be bilingual. He asked that the people of Hayu participate in development projects such as aquaculture and fish farming. Sardine production unit will also be built in Obok. Moreover, specified that the decision makers and the officials are permanently with you. They will move every time it is necessary. Finally, he asked the people of Obok to promote local development with the existing wealth in Obok region. On the sidelines of the launching ceremony of the water supply work to Bisidru and Obok, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed launched the water supply work between the borehole Sublali to Obok city. This project consists of laying 13 kilometers of pipe between the borehole and the new pipe. There will also the 4 kilometers of pipe to be laid inside the city of Obok to improve and facilitate access to water for the population of Obok. As part of the ceremony to launch the water supply work of Bisidiru and Obok, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, accompanied by a strong delegation of government members, launched the work of leveling, compacting, and marking the ground of the synthetic turf of Obok. Upon his arrival, Prime Minister was welcomed by the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, Hassan Mohammed Kamil. The Prime Minister and his delegations were greeted by a huge crowd of young people from Obok and welcomed in the Obok Sports Stadium. After a warm welcome, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed launched the work of leveling, compacting, and marking the grounds of the synthetic turf of Obok. The Secretary General of the Primacy, Naguib Abdallah Kamil, took part in the big project of the water supply networks between Bisidru and Obok, as well as rehabilitations of the pipe between Sublali and Obok, and the launchings of the work, he said, on the synthetic turfs of Obok's profile. In an interview, Naguib stressed that he is at Obok. With delegation is led by the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed to participate in the launch of the major Bisidru project and several other development projects in the region. He pointed out that during the presidential towers in March before the COVID pandemic in our country, the president had noted the enormous potential for development in Obok region. Among the grievances raised before the President of the Republic, the project of water supply network from the Bisiduru water table. This project is today a reality. It has just been launched with great pomp in the presence of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the President of the Assembly, of numerous ministers and parliamentarians. Secondly, we are also going to have a sports development project for young people, with soon the installations of an artificial turf on the soccer field. Thirdly, the pipe that supply water to the city of Obok from Sublali will be rehabilitated with an additional kilometers of urban networks to properly supply the city of Obok. Mr. Naguib noted that the city of Obok is growing, and he congratulated the people of Obok for their dynamism. He added that with the launching of all these big projects, the water problems will be totally solved. Moreover, Mr. Naguib had asked to promote education in Hayu. This has been concretized with the realizations of many schools thanks to the initiative of the President, and from now on the teaching will be bilingual. He asked that the people of Hayu participate in development projects such as aquaculture, and decision makers officials are permanently with you. They will move every time it is necessary. Finally, he asked the people of Obok to promote local development with the existing wealth in the Obok region. The Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity, Mona Usman Aden, received in the mornings of Sunday, October, in an audience, the Japanese diplomat Mr. Koji Yonetani for a formal visit. Indeed, the Minister praised the remarkable work of Mr. Koji Yonetani during his diplomatic mission in Djibouti and the tremendous cooperation between the Japanese and Djiboutian people. The latter did not fail to pay vibrant tribute to the Japanese people through their embassy for the various support in the implementation of social programs such as youth empowerment. A fire broke out at about 1 p.m. today in the commercial areas of the district. More precisely, on Boulevard 4, several businesses were destroyed. According to the initial report, the commercial premises were set on fire. In the fire that was fueled by a strong wind, firefighters arrived quickly on the scene and put up a fierce fight to put out the fire. Damage is important. About 10 businesses were burned in the fire. The black smoke given off by the fires was visible from all districts of the capital. The products sold in the shops constitute clothes and shoes were destroyed in the fires, and the explosions of perfume products resounded in the neighborhoods. Luckily, there were no human casualties. The salesmen were back for the lunch, and the customer, the mayor of the city, Fatuma Awal Osman, and the sub-prefect of the first district, Abdi Hassan, responsible for security and firefighters, have supervised and encouraged the firefighters who came quickly to the scenes to control fire. The police and gendarmerie have opened an investigation to know the origin of the fire of this noon in the commercial district of the first district. The international athlete and new ambassador of Djibouti Port Authority and Free Zone, Mo Farah, granted yesterday an exclusive interview to RTD at the Hotel Kempinski Palace in Djibouti, indicate that the peace and stability are the basis for development of the Republic of Djibouti. The ambassador of the Djibouti Port Authority and Free Zone, Mo Farah, recognized that Djibouti, as he perceives it today, compared that to what it was yesterday. He said there is a very big difference. This is due to the unprecedented efforts of Djiboutians, and especially those undertaken by the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, who has notably benefited from the support of Djiboutians, who have also undoubtedly contributed their stones to the edifice of true development that the Republic of Djibouti knows today. He stressed that Djibouti says he knows before his departure does not anything like Djibouti today, which has changed a lot of in terms of development, indicate on the other hand that this is why he returned each time recently to Djibouti. Moreover, said he, Djibouti is very dear to me, and it is my very clear dear to me and second homeland. In continuance, that we must understand that the most important thing is peace, and people who are supposed to understand today this special are the people who live outside and recognize it. That said, he urged all young people to recognize this very deep heritage of peace and stability of their countries in order to better flourish and take an active part in the development of process of their country. This exclusive interview with Mo Farah on RTD will be broadcast in the entirely this week. It is our colleague Ramadan Musa who conducts this interview. During a patrols of the Djibouti border, the Damerjog Custom Brigade, in close collaboration with the army detachment of the locality of Damerjog, says the quantity of smuggled cat goods. This important cat merchandise the smugglers wanted to transport in the quantity of to the capital according to the standards procedures in force. This quantity was destroyed on palace in presence of the head of the mobile brigade. This operation is part of the fight against smuggling in all its forms. The Director General of Customs and Indirect Duty, Mr. Guled Ahmed, congratulated all the elements of customs and the military of Damerjog for their collaboration and the success of these operations in the fight against smuggling, which is harming the economy of the country. For the international scene, UN announces the resumption of inter-Libyan dialogues. The United Nations Support Mission in Libya announced the resumption of the inclusive political and military inter-Libyan dialogues. According to a statement published on the UN website, objective of the Libyan political dialogue forum is to find a consensus of a unified governance framework and programs leading to the organizations of national elections in order to restore Libyan sovereignty and the democratic legitimacy of the country's institutions. The UN support missions in Libya confirmed that it will seek to ensure broad consultations, transparency, and rights-based approaches in this process, led by Libyans and owned by Libyans. She also called for a complete cessation of all military exercise and reinforcement to allow agreement on a durable ceasefire, and for the creation of a demilitarized zone in the centers of countries and atmospheres conducive for conductive political discussion. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.